Governments in fascist nations tend to use the most common religion in the nation as a tool to manipulate public opinion. Religious rhetoric and terminology is common from government leaders, even when the major tenets of the religion are diametrically opposed to the government's policies or actions. This even is so obvious in America that no greater detail needs to be added. The people in power have used Christian beliefs to justify why certain things should be illegal, and to fear-monger which is ignorant. To have legitimate reasoning for something to be illegal or legal, there must be actually legal and political reasoning behind it. The greatest example being gay marriage. There is absolutely no reasoning for it to be illegal in America. This is one example, however there are many more that are also obvious. The industrial and business aristocracy of a fascist nation often are the ones who put the government leaders into power, creating a mutually beneficial business-government relationship and power elite. Wall Street owns the American government, not Main Street like it should be. This is obvious through many politicians and the government programs. Because the organizing power of labor is the only real threat to a fascist government, labor unions are either eliminated entirely, or are severely suppressed. Fascist nations tend to promote and tolerate open hostility to higher education and academia. It is not uncommon for professors and other academics to be censored or even arrested. Free expression in the arts and letters is openly attacked. This is happening slowly in our country, but happening nonetheless. For example, things like Texas changing history books, evolution not being taught in school because it is quote-unquote controversial. The arts have always been suppressed in America due to America pushing for people to fit into a certain role instead of being an individual and expressing themselves. This situation is happening but is still small enough for us to have hope to fixing this part of the broken system that is the American government. Under fascist regimes, the police are given almost limitless power to enforce laws. The people are often willing to overlook police abuses and even forego civil liberties in the name of patriotism. There is often a national police force with virtually unlimited power in fascist nations. We have seen this ever since the civil rights movement. Police in America have practically abused the position we have given them in most instances. Examples are endless and obvious every day in America, and because the government has taken almost all rights of Americans to defend themselves against injustice, we are forced into obedience and we allow this to continue, making it much simpler for the government's control on us to become stronger and stronger each day. Fascist regimes almost always are governed by groups of friends and associates who appoint each other to government positions and use governmental power and authority to protect their friends from accountability. It is not uncommon in fascist regimes for national resources and even treasures to be appropriated or even outright stolen by government leaders. This is so obvious in America that further explanation would just be angry babbling. Sometimes elections in fascist nations are a complete sham. Other times elections are manipulated by smear campaigns against or even assassination of opposition candidates, use of legislation to control voting numbers or political district boundaries, and manipulation of the media. Fascist nations also typically use their judiciaries to manipulate or control elections. If any American was alive during the time of Bush's re-election, then may have seen election fraud. Election fraud is one of the largest threats to us due to the fact that no matter what we want or whom we want, the persons in power choose what happens. Stalin said, "It doesn't matter who votes for you, it only matters who counts the votes." The electoral college system is something that must be ended. The people in the system, if they wish to, could change the vote of their respective state and make it whoever they want in power, making the vote of the average American meaningless. The problems of this government are endless. These past two videos on fascism should have opened your eyes to at least some of the injustices done to us and done in our name to others. This is not what America is supposed to be. So, I propose real change. New government. A complete overthrow of the current system and rebuilding of an actual system based on basic human liberty and human rights is what is needed now. not false hope and false change. No torture, no stealing, no lies, and no injustices, the actual American dream. This is the whole point of America's existence, and the government needs to be reminded of that, and so do the people of this country. Join us in this war to fix our country. We will no longer put ourselves into the hands of corrupt leadership. The only verdict is vengeance, a vendetta, held as a votive, not in vain, for the value and veracity of such shall one day vindicate the vigilant and the virtuous. Change now, or we will do it for you by any means necessary.